Hi everyone, welcome back to Math Skills. Yesterday we talked about evaluating absolute value expressions. Today we're going to solve absolute value equations. Before we move on to solving, let's review an example from yesterday. In one of our examples from yesterday, we were asked to evaluate 23 minus the absolute value of 3 minus x if x equals 8. So our first step is rewriting the problem as 23 minus the absolute value of 3 minus 8. Before we can do anything else, we need to simplify what's inside the absolute value bars. Within the absolute value, 3 minus 8 is negative 5. Now we have to actually take the absolute value of negative 5, so this problem turns into 23 minus positive 5. Our last step is subtracting, and 23 minus 5 is positive 18. Before we solve equations, we need to consider the following question. If the absolute value of x equals 3, then what is x? You're probably thinking that this is a trick question, or maybe you're thinking that x has to be 3, right? But are there any other numbers where the absolute value of x is also 3? What about negative 3? Both of these numbers give us the same absolute value. So when we're solving absolute value equations, we need to take two answers into consideration. For our first example, the absolute value of x minus 5 equals 17. So this means the math inside the absolute value bars could equal 17, or it could also equal negative 17 and give us the same answer. So to set up our equations, x minus 5 could equal 17, or x minus 5 could equal negative 17. For both equations, our only step to get x by itself is to add the 5. For our first equation, the 5's on the left cancel, and 17 plus 5 means our first answer is x equals 22. For our second equation, the 5's on the left also cancel, and negative 17 plus 5 means our second answer is x equals negative 12. Now you try this next one on your own. For this next example, you'll want to pause the video while you work and then come back and check the correct answer. This example is the absolute value of 3 plus x equals 12. Welcome back. Do you think you have the correct answers? Here they are. Our two answers are x equals 9 and x equals negative 15. If you didn't get that correct, here's the work so that you can check your answers. If you got that last problem wrong, hopefully you figured out your mistakes so that you don't make them again. Keep practicing. Tomorrow we're going to be solving absolute value inequalities, which are pretty similar to the work that we did today. See you tomorrow.